Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chad Erickson. I'm the Vice President of Strategy at My Advice. Our guest today is a very dear personal friend of mine, Dori Suko. Dori, thank you for joining us. Dori is amazing. If you've not heard her speak before, um, her knowledge and her experience is really unmatched in the industry. She's a three-time author. She understands how to help all seven-figure businesses really grow. She's been there. She's done that. She's the mastermind group leader. She's also very, very passionate about developing the innovative, effective business models to really assist medical spa leaders like yourselves find exponential growth and profits within the business. Again, you're not going to be able to match what she's done. So Dori, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your knowledge and wisdom with our audience.
Thank you,
Um,
Chad.
Absolutely.
It's great to be with
But
everyone. So
oh
excited
my
to be
good.
here.
Well, again, it's our pleasure and really our treat to have you here. So
Thank
as we
you.
think about what we wanted to accomplish today, Dori, I think I want to really just hit us right out of the gate. I mean, that's it, helping every single practice understand the importance of a recurring revenue model. Can you talk to us more about why that's so important?
Yes, for sure. Well, first, I want to welcome everyone. We have people who have joined us from all over the country and the world, actually. We're always super excited to do some complimentary webinars for everybody to arm you with all the tools and the business knowledge that you need to really help you. So, today we're going to be sharing information from our number one seller program, actually. It's called the Copy System, and in case you're not aware of it, but we go over it step by step on how to actually create a reoccurring revenue model. So today we're going to be sharing information to truly help you implement such a model so you can really grow your business and be able to have that financial security and financial health that you are looking to obtain. So I'm actually curious how many people with us today already have a VIP program or a membership model. I would love it if you can share with us by raise a hand or let us know whether you have one or you're thinking about having one. And those of you who have one, I would love to hear maybe from you on how well it's actually working for you. So let's start with why they should have one. As you know, during the pandemic and the shutdown, many businesses actually did not survive. And the ones that did survive, especially many of our clients, are the people that had that nice recurring revenue model because it was a great insurance against business disruption. And that's why I love it so much. I mean, there are so many benefits to having a recurring revenue model, and it's something that we teach within the business model that we actually offer all of our members in our community. So why you want to have one is because you want that nice guaranteed income on monthly basis. And what we teach, Chad, is that I want them to generate enough recurring revenue to actually take them to that break even point, so that way they have all their expenses covered on monthly basis. So if your break even point is 100,000, then you should have at least 100,000 in recurring revenue. And that way everything else you generate for the rest of the year is all for the rest of the month on monthly basis and over the year is all additional revenue that you could be generating for your business. So if that's not enough of a reason for everybody to get one, I don't know what is. So, and we practice what we preach, by the way, Chad, and you do as well with My
We do.
Advice. You guys have a membership model. We have a membership model. All of our clients who have been in our community for a while have a membership model. Truly, it is the best insurance against any business disruptions or just having a healthier business. So that's what I would like to start.
You know, I love that you start with the why, right? It's the Simon Sinek approach, right? Always start with the why. And I agree with you 100%. In fact, when COVID hit and we saw the downturn, we were really not really impacted because we had such a strong revenue model and we were able to really weather that. We actually still saw growth, but it was because we had taken the time to do that. So starting with the why is great. how do they get going with this? I mean, that's sort of the next question. If I understand why, and it's yes, that makes sense, it resonates. How do they do it? What's the first step to really creating that
Yeah.
within a med spa practice?
Well, it really starts with the mindset, first of all, Chad, because a lot of people, especially in the medical profession, they view a membership as like a Massage Envy membership or as a gym membership, and they're like, shy away from it. Oh, I don't want to offer a membership. Well, that's not a good mindset at all. You want to offer some kind of a VIP membership so you can increase capacity, you can have good retention, you can have that recurring revenue we just spoke about. So you really need to start by first you as a leader buying in on the idea as to why you should have a recurring revenue model. And you can't be pushing it away. It has to be part of your entire business model, not just this model. And when they do that, when they actually change their mindset and they're open about having one, then the next step is to decide what kind of VIP program I want to offer to my community. So there is an entire process that they need to follow. You can't just wake up one morning and say, oh, I think I'm going to start a VIP program and start. But literally, the very first step, Chad, is to make sure that they have a software system that can actually track and manage and collect money from these clients of theirs. Because if you don't have a right software system to manage your VIP, your membership program, then it's going to be the nightmare of all nightmares. So first, I would want to contact my software system, see if I can offer it. If I can offer it, great. If not, then you really need to have a software system that can manage that for you. So that's really where I would start, the first step.
That's a great step. They may have one, but if they don't, or they're looking to change, are there a couple of softwares that you recommend, software solutions?
Actually, they're all getting much wiser because they know how important that one principle is of running their business. So whether it's Patient Now, MDware, um, uh, there are so many really. Next, there are so many different Aesthetic Next. There are so many different software systems that have it, but there are still some out there that are in the dinosaur ages that don't. So make sure that you can offer that. So that would be really the first step of finding out. Then after that, you need to start running some reports by client to really see how much people are actually spending with you on annual basis. So I would go into my system and I would run a report by client and by spending dollars, revenue generating dollars for over a year, 12 months. I would do the last 12 months and see what that amount is. And part of the whole philosophy is what you'll notice when you run that report is that people are spending certain amount of dollars with you. Then the philosophy that we actually teach is there's really two ways to actually come to a medical spa or a practice or wellness centers, whatever. They should be thinking this way. You have your a la carte pricing, which people can come and get whatever treatment they want at the regular price. And then the second way is come in as a member, and that's where you could really get your discounts or your added value or your savings. Because people are going to spend X amount of money no matter what. Actually, we call it in our program a personal allowance, image personal allowance. And we all have it. Like you go to the store, Chad, and you buy shampoo and conditioner, body wash, shaving cream, moisturizers for your face, sun protection when you go skiing, all these things. We all spend probably a couple $100 a month. I remember looking at the study, and I think it was like $269 a month is an average personal allowance that people actually spend on themselves. So the philosophy that I believe in and that we teach is if people are going to spend so much money anyway, why not have them create a program for them or an annual membership program for them, if you will, so that we could decide what treatments would be best for them and actually charge them for that amount every month for a year. And that's what makes this program so nice is because now people are going to come back to you more often. So you've just increased your capacity. You're going to be able to generate revenue on a regular basis, so your cash flow is much healthier. And your team is busier now because you have people coming in on more regular basis, so your retention rate is higher. So what a great way to actually position your VIP program. So those are some of the things, first steps that they should be really thinking about. So the software system, the mindset, and the opportunity that you have to really implement something like this and benefit from it.
I love that. And you covered a lot of the benefits so well. The other part that you said that I really, really like, because I love digging into data, but that is to find the cohort, right? Find by individuals, what's their spend, what products are they spending it on? And by having that information, it really allows you to know where you should be. And I think that leads to the kind of next question that really kind of comes up is, you talk about pricing. How do you determine the pricing for your market that's the right pricing so that you're not leaving money on the table? And also, what's the discount rate that you should give through a membership versus the a la carte that you talked about?
Yes, great questions. So the first thing I would really like to drive home is that how they do the discounting. So there's a lot of discounting going on right now. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of price war games going on. Let's see who can be the cheapest. They think that competing on price is a good thing, so they're trying to be the cheapest one available, so to hopefully grab as many consumers as possible. But that really is not the way to go. We believe, as a business owner, you should only discount two different ways. One is if somebody has a VIP membership with you, and the second one is during events. If you're hosting a huge event or some kind of a seasonal event, then you can offer some savings during events. Other than that, people should just come and pay the regular price from the menu. So we call it the a la carte price, right? So if somebody comes to you and says, oh, well, what specials do you have going on this month? They need to be answered this way. You say, oh, we have specials all the time. It's in the VIP program that we offer. So you can come in on monthly basis and have great savings. Now, if they say, no, I don't want to do that, then they need to come and pay the regular a la carte price. It's really that simple. So if you really want to motivate your clients to become members, you will be benefiting tremendously if you do it the way I'm saying. So don't be doing monthly promotions and having everything on sale and you look like, Walmart. Instead, you can be like Neiman Marcus and have certain standards to your pricing and only offer those savings if they are a VIP member. Now, I'm saying this to go around a long way to give you how they should set up their pricing, but it's a very important point to actually state. So how I would set up my pricing is really based on that report that they should go and check out by client spend. Because if you look at your top 20% of the people that are coming to you, you're going to notice that these people are spending thousands of dollars in a year with you, right? So if you take that amount and you divide it by 12 months, that's going to give you a very good idea on what your higher priced membership should be. So for example, we have one of my favorite clients. I love all of our clients, but they are very special. The Estique Group up in Pennsylvania. They have a plastic surgery center and 2 medical spa locations. And they relaunched their membership in the middle of the pandemic, actually. That's what we were doing, revamping. They have over 500 members, paying them between $580 a month to $250 a month. So that's like 6 figures, right, that you can have in 1 month from just your VIP program. Now, we were talking a couple months ago, and Brianna and Linda were telling me, I think we need to raise our price and have a much higher membership. I'm like, that's music to my ears. So they just launched their highest level of membership for $1,200 a month. Wow. So if they can do that, so can you. Now again, it depends on your market, it depends on your clientele, but you shouldn't settle for a low amount. Don't be scared to offer a higher level VIP membership, you can ask. They're just going to say yes or no. So don't be afraid to actually offer it. So to answer your question, it could really be anywhere between $500-$600 or more, depending on where you are, down to maybe $250 a month. I would not go down below $250, especially if you have a medical spa or medical aesthetics, because what could you buy for less than that? And the beautiful thing about this, Chad, is that every month you're collecting this money. You're basically banking it for them in the software system. And then they get to come in every single month and be able to actually pick whatever treatment they want off the menu. And they're getting different levels of discounting. So if they buy the highest level, then you're going to give them the highest discount. So let's say they get 20% off if they have a $580 membership. If they have the middle level, maybe you'll give them 15% off. And if they have the lowest, they get 10% off. So that's how the discounting happens, or we like to call it savings instead of discounting. And once they decide which level they want to purchase, that's the amount that they would get off whatever treatments they're having for the month.
You've proven this out with, I know, with hundreds and hundreds of practices over the years, and it's a big deal. So thank you for sharing that. I find it very interesting because I think one of the things that I heard is because you have the membership, they feel a need to come in, right? They're spending the money, they love what they're getting, so the value is there, but you've created the loyalty, and so you're no longer worrying about the price shopping to where someone down the street or someone's throwing some weird offer out there, or whatever it is, or somebody new opens up, right? It's the cheap discounting, ways. They're loyal because they know who you're at. They've already committed to that payment. So it's a great way to get that loyalty happening and the recurring revenue. So huge value from another aspect as well.
For sure.
As they, so getting that, so that's a great advice. And so hopefully everyone's taking notes. So don't go below $250. But I think hopefully what you heard was every market's a little bit different, but don't be afraid to go up. Depending on, surgical, non-surgical, you may be as high as $1,200-$1,300 a month as part of that membership fee. And at various levels, you just increase the discounted amount. And obviously, we're rushing through things a little bit today. If you want more information, I hope you would reach out to Dori and her team, where they can really do a more of a one-on-one dive with you, right, and help you understand based on what you're offering, where you're located, how to really set it up successfully. But we're trying to give you a good overview today. But once we've got that in place, Dori, I guess the next logical step is, how do they go about promoting this? What's been the most successful way to do that?
Well, actually, you're the master at that, Chad. No. So there are so many different ways to market your VIP program and actually gain a lot of traction. And one of it, of course, is through social media, through your website, through my advice campaigns that they can do for you. You can do it internally via your team by doing a loop, by doing some posters, by doing a flyer, email blast, of course, using all the marketing mix that you usually use to market anything. But the most valuable way to really market this is your team. You can do all the campaignings, but then at the end of the day, it's what your team can do with the inquiries or the people that are coming to visit you, and how they can convert them and enroll them into the VIP program. Because, Chad, some people can have the best VIP program, but if the team and their marketing efforts are not kicking in the interest and the desire and the conversion of enrollment, then you're not doing yourself any favors. And as a matter of fact, that's probably one of the most important things that we teach. Setting up the program is easy, really. It's not that complicated. It's teaching the team how to enroll members. That's the more complicated factor there. Because most people don't feel like they want to sell, so they shy away. but we have really broken down the process to them to make it super easy to enroll people into the VIP membership. But it definitely takes marketing, and then it takes sales or enrollments. You can't sell without marketing. So they really need to be combined for you to get the best out of the entire process that you have in place. But you probably have a couple of things you want to add to that.
Well, it's great sound advice, and I agree 100% with you. A company like My Advice, we're going to help feed the top of a sales funnel, right? And bring in those leads. But if there's not alignment within an organization to nurture those leads through the middle of the funnel to come out at the very bottom, and they don't know the scripts, they don't know the programs, they don't know how to speak to it intelligently, then it falls apart. We see it a lot of times where we've turned on pay-per-click campaigns for practices before, and the lead flow is tremendous, right? It just all of a sudden lights up, and they don't know how to respond properly to phone calls and emails and the volume that comes in, and all of a sudden nothing happens. We've actually had people like, can you please turn that off? We're failing internally. And it's really because they don't have any systems in place and they don't have everyone aligned.
You
And
need
so
to
that
have them.
alignment
You need
is
to have them
critical.
call us.
Yes, that's exactly it. If you're in that ballpark, you need to work with inspiration management because they will train your team. They will set up the
Yes.
systems internally to solve that because it's absolutely critical.
Actually,
Um,
you would love it. I should send that to you, Chad. I just did a recipe for success. It's one of the modules that we do monthly, recipes for success. I just did a module on exactly what you're talking about, how to manage the leads once they come in. How do we convert them into a consultation? And then how do we convert the consultation into a customized program? And then how do we convert them into a membership? And that is really so important to the success, because often, like you're saying, we have people that are generating leads through your help or their website or social media, and then the leads are coming in and you're just sitting on them, not doing anything. It's like gold sitting there waiting to be mined, and nobody is mining the gold. So yeah, very important
so
factor.
true. It really is. And part of what you do also is really helping you. You mentioned sales, and I think that term sales can be a turnoff, right? People hear it and they just like, panic. I'm not a salesperson. It's
Yes.
like, no, everybody in the organization is a salesperson, but sales at its very, very root is about helping people. And if they understand that hey, you're just here to help people, and they have a script that they can follow, they can be successful with it. So it's great. Dori, within a practice, and we're talking about people, who have you found is really the person that should be in charge of this and making sure that it's implemented properly and that there's accountability? Who really should be in charge of that?
Well, we really broke it down in the program that we offer into 3 segments. The first part, as a leader yourself first, you need to create the program, right? Then after you create it, you need to gain buy-in from the team. So that's the second part. You need to have a team meeting and explain to the team why this is important, why we need to do it, how it's going to benefit them, what's in it for them, and paint that whole big picture and gain the buy-in of the team. Then the third part of this program is actually how do we enroll people into the program. So we really thought it all the way through, and we're providing everybody, like on our members, they all have access to this, of course, complimentary. They just go to Metz-Paubes University, they watch it, they're able to implement it. We'll just double check their pricing, make sure that it's correct, and then they're able to launch it and train the team. So yeah, you're right. That's why I call it enrollment instead of selling a membership, because it is very psychological with a lot of the verbiage that you use. So what we like to do is show the team in your facility how to enroll your consumers, your clients, into the VIP program. And calling it enrollment makes it a lot easier for the team to buy in on it rather than think that they have to sell a membership. So that makes a big, big difference.
That's great. And you've obviously learned that over the years, and words do matter. And so I'm so glad you covered that because
Yeah.
it really is important.
Yeah,
Um,
people say that all the time about us. It's like, you guys speak a different language. It's English, but it's a different language because we're very particular on the words that we use. Exactly. It's very
it's
philosophical
smart.
for sure.
It's absolutely smart, and as people start to pay attention to that, it should really help them as well.
Yes.
We talked about people, Dory, and people can be the success or the failure within a program, but especially like this. But on a VIP program, what are some other pitfalls or or things that people should be aware of when they're
Yes.
getting this set up? That sort of those blind spots, if you will.
Yes. Great question. One of the biggest mistakes I think people make is they don't check their pricing before they start discounting. And what that does is it actually depletes your profit line. So one of the most important processes before you set your pricing down and before you start setting up how much of a savings you want to give on each level, in some cases you may want to go and raise your prices first. So create that new a la carte price, maybe launch a new menu, and then create your VIP savings based on the new price, and ensuring that even if you give somebody 20% off, that you still have a healthy business. You still have a great profit line. And I have to say, that's probably the biggest mistake I see. So we created a pricing calculator for our community where they can put in the price of different treatments with the discounts that we need to offer, and that will tell you what the magic price should be to ensure certain profitability. So we want to make at least 20% profit, right? So it's very important to check that first before you go off giving discounts. And then the other thing I see people make mistakes on is they give the discounting or the savings on the membership, but then they still do other specials and other discounting, and it cheapens the whole process. So if they follow what I said earlier, you have your a la carte pricing and then you have your VIP pricing. So if anybody wants to save, then enroll them, let them be a member, then they can save all the time. So if you combine a good VIP program with your loyalty program, so you really should have two programs, your membership and the loyalty. And that way you're going to increase your retention. People are going to stay in your community because you're taking good care of them, you're giving them the results that they're looking for, and they're not going to go anywhere. They will stay with you. So I would have to say that's probably the biggest mistake I see.
And it makes perfect sense, right? Is also they're like, oh, we'll just do this and plug it in, and they forget to understand, well, what are my profit margins? Mm-hmm. What are my real expenses, right? I've got to pay for the thread lips. I've got to pay for mm-hmm. the filler and the neurotoxins and all these other pieces. And all of a sudden they're like, oh, I got to pay people and my overhead and my, yes. My rent, my lights. And then they're like, oh, shoot, I'm losing money because, mm-hmm. you got to look at that. And I love 20%. So if you didn't write that down, please do. Look at a 20% margin minimum, right?
Yes.
That you should be looking at.
Now, in some cases, it might be bigger if it's a practice attached with a medical spa or medical aesthetics, and the practice is paying all the bills, then of course your profit margin is even going to go higher. This is for a standalone business, so it really depends on the situation. There's one other mistake I see often when it comes to creating the recurring revenue model is not managing the program wisely. You really need to be on top of it. I think you mentioned it a little bit earlier. They're paying every month. So we want to get them in the habit of visiting you every month. Because if they don't visit you every month, they start forgetting about you, and out of sight is out of mind. And before you know it, your cancellation rate is going to go up higher because you did not stay on top of the game and make sure that they came in on a regular basis. So you really need to do that. And when they come in on a regular basis, you need to make sure that you take good care of them. And if they don't come, you need to have flagging systems where, let's say it's 3 weeks into the month, Dori hasn't come in, there should be emails or text messages or things that you help people do as well. And that automation to say, Dori, you have not been in yet this month. Go ahead, use this link to reserve your appointment, or give us a call to reserve your appointment. So we need to stay on top of the program so we can manage it properly to ensure that retention also. So it makes a big difference.
Yeah, it's so smart. We call it top of mind, right? And you want to have that top of mind, and that's where your social media marketing becomes critical. And that's why we post for our clients 4 times a week. We know sometimes they won't do it, but we're going to, and we want them to augment that. But social media is a critical piece of that. They should be sending out emails. And so if you're not doing these things, you want to have that. Your
For
software
sure.
can be automated to do that. And hopefully you've got your team really operating well enough that when someone
Yes.
is done with their appointment, you're scheduling the next one, right? But things can
For
happen,
sure.
and but you want to make sure that you've got that the software that's going to re-engage them and make sure that they're coming back and maintain that top of mind awareness. So absolutely critical to the success. Dori, you talked about your program and your training that really outlines all these steps, and I love that you've put together, the Inspiration Management, University, which is just so smart, right? It's process driven. You understand, hey, at your own pace, your own time, even if you've heard it once, you've come to a live event, you're going to have new people coming in, so you can train them and keep everyone on the same page. But um, maybe talk about really the steps that you have with your program, how they can get in touch with you, and how they go about
Yeah.
learning more.
So actually, like I said earlier, we practice what we preach. Now, could you imagine how it would be if I'm sitting here telling you to have a membership and then we don't have one? That would not be very good, would it? No. As a matter of fact, a lot of the business principles that we practice, Chad, are also business principles that we teach our clients to actually implement because they're great business principles. You just do them business to consumer, we do it business to business. That's really the only difference. So our membership program, and you know what's funny, talking about mindset, I remember when I launched my very first membership, Chad. I don't think many people in our community even know this. Well, maybe some older members would. I think it was called the silver membership back then. It was only $9.99 a month. That was my very first membership.
Get started.
Of course, that was years ago. But now
Sure.
we have memberships that are up to $4,500 a month, and I still think that's too cheap. It needs to even be higher because of all the value we bring.
Right.
So our membership varies. It's between them having access to everything we have the first year, what we feel they should implement, and then we have the high achievers after they've been with us for 1 year and they're generating 1 million in business or above, then they can go into the higher level of membership. And what we do really is teach them the entire business model. It's all on the Metz Bobbins University, and everything they can imagine they would need for their business is there. We have thought of everything that they need. So if anybody's interested or whoever is interested that would like to come and take a look at it, they can go to our homepage on inspirationmanagement.com, or if you're on social media right now, you can click and be able to reserve a success planning session. So we can sit down with you, my team will sit down with you, find out what your goals are, what do you want to improve in your business, and then they'll make recommendations for you as to what's the best way to do this. So it works. We're here basically to help everyone succeed, Chad, and everything that we do is to help them generate really millions in their business. That's our goal.
Well, and I love that. And you've done that so well for so many over the years, and you continue to just show that, which is amazing. Hey, Dori, I know that you're about to publish your 4th book. You're doing live events again, and by the way, I want to come out and see you live, and I want to come to one of your events and get your new book.
Yeah.
I need to do that. But for
You
everyone
do
who's listening,
need to do that. You need to come. It's coming up next month.
perfect. Well, where can we come? Where can we come see you, and where can we come?
Yes.
See
Actually,
you live
we
and
have
get
a
the book?
Yeah, we have a couple meetings next month, and you know what? It is so nice. We just had the Leap Ahead seminar last month. We had over 100 people attend. It was
Amazing.
so good to see our members again face to face. We've missed them so much. There's nothing like face to face meetings. But this coming month, we have a mastermind meeting for the people that are making $1 million and above. Everybody gets together and get to learn from one another. And then the other seminar we're having is the book writing seminar, where we can show our clients and whoever shows up to the seminar how to write a book in one weekend. It's amazing. Actually, I just got a copy from our latest publisher, Denise Dubois. She has 2 locations in New York, one in Albany and one in Saratoga. She did an amazing job on her book. But yeah, it's so much fun to really arm the industry professionals with everything that they need to truly succeed. And that's really what our mission, what our goals, and our vision is really for the industry. So we're here to help for the people who want help.
I love it. Thank you. And again, for our audience who's here today, I hope you really appreciate the fact that you're hearing from such a respected leader like Dori. She and her team are phenomenal. At my advice, like I said, we're very, very good at delivering new leads, right to the top of the funnel. That's our job. We get the phone to ring, we get emails, we get chats, we get all that. But when they get to the front door, it's the then what. And this is where inspiration management really picks up the pieces. This is where they're going to train your staff to make sure that you are operating at a top efficiency level, to make sure that you're maximizing every lead that comes in, your close rates are where they need to be, and you're maximizing your revenues and your profitability, which is critical to your long-term success.
Absolutely.
So, Dori, thank you.
Yeah. Well, what we do together is so nice because they really need both of our companies. Like I said earlier, you could have the most beautiful facility, but if you don't have people walking in or the phone is not ringing, you have nothing. So it really starts with you, and then, like you just said, it comes to us. Because you generate the leads, yes, and then we help them make sure that they're converting on those leads and that they're generating the revenue that they need to be generating. So it makes a nice engagement between both of our companies, and I love what you guys do, and as you know, we refer people to my advice all the time, and it's great. It's a great relationship, and I want to advise everybody. I think those kind of relationships are the kind of relationships that you should have in your community. I was just doing a call this morning, and one of our members was saying that she really liked to develop business-to-business relations, and she has this magnificent space. It's so beautiful. I'm like, well, go talk to wedding planners and host some bridal events here. Go talk to the fitness center and have them come and actually do personal training, because they have a whole yoga center and everything, instead of having the place sit empty. So I love business-to-business relationships. And just like Chad and I have one, you need to have some business-to-business in your community and see what would be a great way for you to partner up on, what things are great to partner up on, and do it. It's great, very economical.
Very much so, and I echo that. There are so many win-win opportunities, and that's really how it should feel. It should feel easy and in a win-win scenario, which is wonderful. So
I'm doing a little special for my advice clients and the community, our community. If you're not a member, of course, if you're a member, you have access totally free, of course. But if you are not a member, you can go to the shop on inspirationmanagement.com, and we're giving a $200 savings on this program, how to set up your entire VIP program. And as I mentioned, again, it has the 3 parts in it: how to create it, how to gain buy-in, and then how to teach the team to enroll. So make sure you go check it out. It's it's called Steps to Creating and Implementing Your Recurring Revenue Model.
That's awesome. We can send that out to everybody as well. So, thank you.
This has been great,
Dori. We've had answer all the questions that came in, and you've done a tremendous job. Thank you, everyone, for participating with us today, for taking again the valuable time to be here with us. If you've got any other questions, let us know. The chat's open, but I think we'll go ahead and close it out for today, and we appreciate you being such an attentive audience.
Let me actually check with my team, see if there are any questions. Do we? Yeah, we have a few questions.
Oh, perfect.
So you have a few more minutes?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, because we are in so many places with YouTube,
so
social media, Zoom, so let's go ahead and take a few questions.
I don't see those, Tara, on my end. If you
Yep,
can.
I'm right here, Chad. So,
Perfect.
Dory, we have a question. Integrative Health is saying they have a membership model right now that has several levels, but they're thinking about simplifying it. Would this be a tool that they should use to simplify their membership?
Yeah. One of the other mistakes that I see often is some people do memberships that are specific to certain treatments, and that's really a mistake. If you've noticed how I mentioned how to set up your VIP program, it's just to set up a dollar amount and then give people the freedom to come in and get whatever they want based on the amount that they paid you. Now, if they're getting something that's a little bit more expensive, then they would just pay the difference and still you apply the same savings to it. So if you have too many different programs, like, oh, here's my facial membership, here's my IV membership, here's my Botox membership, here's my fill, it's just way too confusing. You want to simplify it, have maybe the 3 price points we talked about, 4 at the most if you're going to have a very high-end one. And then you're done. Give them the freedom to come in and get whatever they want. It makes life a lot easier.
Our next question is coming in from Tara. Not me, but another Tara. First, I want to congratulate her. She just opened her medical spa last week, so congratulations.
Yeah.
So she said she hasn't launched a VIP program yet, but her question to you, Dori, is how does she determine the cost, being that she doesn't have any of the annual reports that you recommended she bring to use as a guide?
Yes, that's a very good question. So what you would do is you would forecast your pricing. Like you already probably are doing your menu, right? And your menu has your pricing. So instead of going to historical data, we're just going to guesstimate how much people will be spending with you based on your target market and where you are geographically. And then we'll come up with the price that way. Now, launch it maybe for 3 months, see how it goes, using some forecasting data that we have. More likely we'll set it up correctly from the beginning, but if you need to modify it or change it, then you can always modify it or change it. But that's a great question, and congratulations. I'm so excited for you. You definitely need to have that VIP program, though.
Thank you. Our next question is coming in from Burgess Plastic Surgery Center. Should they be looking for a new software program that has a membership in it, or should they keep the software program they have and then decide on a different one to run just the VIP program?
I would not suggest having multiple software systems. You really should just have one. Keep things simple, because the more systems, and if they don't talk to each other, then it's a nightmare. So I would definitely find the one that you're going to use and just stick with it. Much easier.
Great advice.
Thank you.
And I think right now that's the ones. Could you just share again where they could reserve a success planning session? It looks like Tara's going to reserve one to make sure she's set up for success.
So you can go to inspirationmanagement.com, and right there from the home page, you'll be able to reserve a success planning session. There's one other thing I want to mention as far as also management of the program, which we get this question all the time, is one is, should they have a contract that they need to sign? And then the second thing is, can they accrue the actual amount if they don't use it 1 month? So accruing, I would not want to accrue more than 1 month, because again, then they become non-habitual, which we don't want. So the most maybe to accrue would be 2 months. And by the way, you should have your most frequently asked questions as part of your VIP membership. And we do those for like a low brochure to help you enroll people. So your most frequently asked questions should be on there. And then the other one is the contract. I'm not a big fan of contracts unless you are not doing it in a way where you're giving money or you're giving treatments before the money comes in. So if that's the case, which should never happen, then you should have a contract, because the last thing you want is for them to be receiving treatments, getting that discount, and then saying, oh, I already got all my treatments, I got my discount, now I'm canceling. So you don't want that to happen. The other way is to make sure that you have your payments in every month before you render the service. And if you stick to that, then you don't have to have a contract. So there's different ways to set that up again. It depends on the program that you set up, and it depends on where your target market is and how affluent they are and how things are going to actually work out as far as the entire program. So those are some things for you to also keep in mind.
Great suggestions.
Yep. All right. So I think we're good, Chad. Again, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
We love My Advice and everything that you guys do. We certainly appreciate our relationship together and all the things that we work on together. It's so wonderful. I want to thank my entire team. We have a whole production team here, Chad. So I want to say thank you to everybody, and hope to see you again soon. Thank you all for joining us, and
Thank you.
make sure you set up that VIP program so you can have nice reoccurring revenue.
Go right now and do it. But yes, Dori, we love you and your team as well. We thank everyone for being here. Go sign up. Go just take advantage of that. Go sign up for the succession planning meeting today. It's well worth your time. You heard a brief part of it today. You're going to learn more. It'll be one-on-one. So go do that. We look forward to talking to you again soon on our next webinar.
And
Thanks,
those
everyone.
of you who need help with marketing, definitely give Chad and his team a call so they can help you increase traffic.
Wonderful.
Thanks,
everyone.
All
Have a
right.
great week.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
Until next time, stay inspired.